Hello everyone, Lord Daimyo here, and this is my review for Candy Flurry manga chapter 13. Once again, what an amazing chapter. So I was very excited for this chapter because I wanted to see the villains and the fights and everything else. So unfortunately, let's get this out of the way. So I had predicted that this villain with the two different colored hair and has hard written on his shirt, I thought that his sweet ability was hard candy or like jawbreakers because he had coated his hand in like a black, this is manga so it's only in black and white, but he had coated his hands in like black circles and his feet in black circles and was doing very powerful attacks to EDA and Misaki. So I thought, this is hard candy, these are jawbreakers, easy. However, as we'll see, it's deconfirmed. I thought it was hard candy, I thought my prediction had been confirmed, but I'll be the first to say it, I was wrong. It is gummies. So we'll get into it. So we go back to the fight with Misaki and this gummy user. So Misaki was punched really hard, and everyone's like, is Misaki really weak, or is the enemy just super strong? And the villain, like, all the students are thinking this, and the villain says, so weak. And they're like, oh, that's it. Oh, that's it then. Misaki's weak. So Misaki gets right back up and says, oh, that's nothing. And everyone's like, oh, cheering for him. And then, this is when we get revealed the sweet ability. So when Misaki goes to kick the gummy user, the ball around his hand is deformed. And the villain says, do you like gummies? And Misaki says, I hate sweets. And he's like, that's funny coming from a reset agent. So the gummy user says, bouncy, right? My gummies reduce damage if I shield myself with them. And if I use them to strike, they amplify my strength. It's the best. Which I think I agree. I like gummies a lot. So far, I think the gummy user's got my favorite sweet ability. Until we get candy floss. But, and then it starts, basically this whole chapter is the gummy user trying to convince Misaki to reveal a secret. So he says, you can't use true power, can you, Misaki? And then we get a little bit of a flashback back to the abandoned train car with the League of Villains in there. And the gummy user reading the newspaper saying, oh, Misaki Midori, that's the girl's name, right, Misaki? There's no mention of the lollipop. Why would they write that? And it said it'd be really bad if the public found out. And like, okay, awesome. And then we see a funny thing. Just the complete and utter comedy in this. I love how, a little tangent, I love how Candy Flurry is seemingly half action and half comedy. It's amazing. It's interwoven so well. It's pure brilliance. It's just genius. So the popcorn user's there, and he has a blazer on. And they're like, what's up with the clothes? And he's like, oh, they're new. And they say, it looks good on you. And he's like, oh, for real? So we all know the popcorn user went and got new clothes because Tsumugi had insulted him and said he wasn't cool because of the dumb clothes he had on. So I just love how that was put in there. So anyways, we go back to the fight. So now we know that the gummy user thinks Misaki is the lollipop user. So all the students are like, hey, why are we just standing here? Let's go. And the gummy user's like, no, if you move, I'm going to kill everyone here. And Misaki's like, oh, we can't have this. And the gummy user's like, oh, you can't use your lollipop if people are around you, right? So I'm going to convince you to use your lollipop. People will see. You'll be recognized as the evil user. Your secret will be revealed. I'll win, right? This is what the villain's thinking. So Misaki's, why are you doing this? Like, why don't you tell us? You know what I'm talking about, that guilty secret you're hiding from everyone? And Misaki's like, okay. How did you know that I want to talk with my classmates as friends, but I always end up speaking formally? And the gummy user's like, no, that's not it. He's like, you know, the thing you're hiding. And then Misaki reveals another secret. That it's a lie that I have something to do when I actually eat lunch by myself. Like, nope, not that either. And then the students are standing there and they're like, what? And Misaki gets all embarrassed because the classmates are there, like he's revealing these secrets. So the gummy user starts siding with Misaki. He's like, hey, why won't you eat lunch together? And they're like, well, you don't want to bother him. He's like, wait, no, I'm not talking about that. It's something serious. And Misaki's like, serious? Is it that I'm a very serious person and not that interesting? So the gummy user strikes his fist down, seemingly getting mad at Misaki, but he turns around to the students and says, look how you've been treating him. They're like, oh, I'm so sorry, Misaki. I'm sorry. You're interesting. So the gummy user's like, do you know who he's fighting for right now? All of you. And they're like, but who's he fighting against again? And the gummy user's saying he's putting his life on the line for everyone. You know? And then he finally breaks out and says, I like you, Misaki. Please join us. I'll explain it to the others. So Misaki is so dumb and lovable that, yet again, he was so dumb and lovable that Tsumugi befriended him, and now he's dumb and lovable so much that not only the whole student body loves him, but the villain loves him. And the villain even invited him to join the villain group and says, I'll explain it to everyone, to all the others. Come on, join us. You're so awesome. Join us. And then, of course, Misaki, like the true hero, of course I won't. It's like, okay, well then, I have no other choice. Either join us, or I'll divulge your secret. And Misaki, just like a boss, by all means. Are you serious? Yeah. Well, then I'm telling him. Please go ahead. I'm really gonna say it. Just. And now, the villain's flustered. He's like, get a hold of yourself. Don't be so destructive. Like, think about your future. So, this is the funniest bit of dialogue I think I've ever read. Like, this is amazing. This is an amazing chapter. How we just see the progression of the villain beating up Misaki, trying to divulge his secret that he's the lollipop user, and then slowly joining his side against the students being mean to him, and then and then calling out his bluff. Misaki's just the best. I mean, we got up until like last chapter, we really didn't get a lot of Misaki, which is unfortunate, but now that we have, it's amazing. I'm really starting to love Misaki. So now the students are like, maybe he's not hiding anything. It could be a tactic from the villain. And the villain's like, great, now they think I'm a liar. He's like, okay, that's fine. Let's be friends. We can't have secrets between friends, right? And then the villain says, I'm going to pummel you until you confess. So, now the fight's really going to start. However, we see a huge pole blasting from the ceiling through the floor. And we all know what that is. It's Tsumugi's lollipop stick. So then the pole retracts, and then we see through the hole in the ceiling Tsumugi's eye. And she just says, found you. And then extends her pole again and hits the gummy user in the face, knocking him out. Or knocking him down, we're not really sure. But seemingly defeating him. And it's so funny. I'm so glad Tsumugi did it this way, because it's just a stick. It could be like a special reset like weapon as far as the students know. Because they're not seeing like an actual like lollipop candy. And Tsumugi even says this. She says, at this rate, I might be more known for sticks than for sweets. Which is, I mean, I think she's used her stick probably just as much as she's used like the actual lollipop candy. However, the very last page, Tsumugi says now, and it looks like she's going to go and help EDA fight the other two, and we go back to EDA standing on the mountain of vanilla ice cream, and the two villains standing there, And EDA says, let's finish this quickly. I get cold easily. Man, EDA is so cool. So, hopefully, next chapter, we are going to see maybe a tag team with Tsumugi and EDA versus the gum user and the cookie user. That would be so, so cool. Also, another thing I'm hoping for is I hope we get names for these villains. I hate calling them gum user, candy, like cookie user, gummy user, like popcorn user. Come on, give us the names already. Anyways, this was a fantastic chapter. Unfortunately, it looks like Shonen Jump is on break this week because every chapter is saying it comes out in 2 weeks. So this will be the first break for Candy Flurry. So I'll put out another Candy Flurry video next Sunday for everyone who still needs their candy fix every week, because I know I do. So be looking forward to that. But let me know in the comments what you think about this chapter or Candy Flurry in general. I'm super excited and I absolutely love this series. But you can also follow me on Twitter if you want. I tweet about Candy Flurry and a ton of other stuff. And I follow everyone back. My link is in the description for that down below. Thank you very much for watching. Have a fantastic day.